Good morning. Lots of talk about INVIDI this week, and we're pretty excited about some of the things that have happened recently. But we're here to talk about a different topic today. And if you'll indulge me for a minute, I scripted myself, because if I don't script myself in 10 minutes, forget it, I'll be here for about a half hour, so I apologize in advance. I was reading a study recently by 5x5, and they reported that 74% of marketers now prioritize social media for launches. TV advertising ranked 6th. Press was, advertising was 4th, and PR was 5th, which is a pretty substantial change from what we've seen in, previously. The report suggested that social media may now be the advertising medium of choice because marketers are facing faster product launch timeframes. So it kind of put this, I picked up this picture because I think it sort of reminded me that TV is very much an object of desire. People still want it. And in fact, on Black Friday, CNN reports that as Target stores were opening, an average of 3,200 TVs per minute were being sold, every single minute. Now think about that for a moment. 3,200 TVs per every 60 seconds. Not laptops, not devices. We're talking strictly TVs. Well, I think everything we know about TV may be open and ripe for some new thinking. How about the right ad at the right place at the right time? As marketers seek even greater precision for their messaging, there's a premium on opportunities that can provide the impact and engagement of TV with the targeting of one-to-one marketing. TV has real advantages that remain to this day. And in fact, at INVIDI, we talk about reach, impact, and accountability. So the accountability piece being all of those wonderful things that, that digital promised, but has not quite delivered on as far as we're concerned. Addressable TV is a means of delivering that right ad to the right person by combining the unmatched reach of television with the targeting precision and measurement capabilities of the one-to-one marketing. If we move to the old school traditional TV, we had the same show and same ad. It was a common user experience. Now, the ads now find the viewer, opening up a whole new world of possibilities on a screen that delivers unparalleled impact and engagement, the television. One of the things that we talk about at INVIDI in particular is the waste that exists in traditional TV. We would typically have one spot being sold, let's call it $100,000, and that's your revenue. But what if in the world of addressable, you actually can sell every single slice of that pizza, and you can deliver higher cash-on-cash returns? That's the promise of addressability, and that's the promise that we're seeing enacted in the marketplace today, which is something that we're incredibly proud of. Additionally, one of the advantages and benefits of addressable TV is the ability to start to reduce your ad load as a programmer. That may seem somewhat counterintuitive in terms of driving revenue, but in fact, on an average revenue per minute, when you're using addressable, revenues start to increase pretty dramatically. And empirical evidence that we have from people who have, or from advertisers who have used our services indicates 4 to 7x effective CPM rates. So a pretty sizable and material increase over what linear TV has typically delivered. In addition, if you can start to reduce your ad load from a competitive standpoint as a programmer, you're much better positioned against your competitive set like the Netflixes and the Hulus of the world, who at this point don't have any ad-supported content. So what does it all mean for us? Well, addressable goes well beyond the traditional Nielsen demographics of age and gender to develop more precise targets based on granular characteristics that include geography, income, education, consumption, and certainly behavioral activities as well. So for the first time on TV, advertisers have the ability to remove viewers who are unlikely to take action on an advertiser's product or service while also allowing advertisers to frequency cap and avoid message wear out. You can limiting impressions against the heaviest viewers to improve overall reach. Frequency controls also enable enhanced creative treatments, including stories that evolve over time, and you can think of an episodic capability that is being delivered, where you can really truly deepen that engagement with your customers. Creative can also be targeted to different segments, allowing advertisers to test responses and craft future messages in a more personal and relevant way. In-depth post-campaign reporting with attribution tracking through media providers and third-party data partners. And then complementary messages between devices offering features like mobile coupons, location-based messaging, and of course the ability to click to purchase. So some pretty significant and exciting advantages and advantages to the new form of TV. And frankly, it is the biggest revolution since the onset of TV in 1947, quite candidly. So, addressable advertising delivers targeted media across all devices with measurable results. And there's a five-part play you do. You start with client data that's analyzed to determine the desired target audience. You then find the audience characteristics and match those with third-party data providers. You find the specific households who are identified within that addressable TV footprint. You deliver the desired advertisement only to the targeted households, reducing waste. And then, of course, the results are analyzed to provide valuable insights such as impact on brand awareness, consideration, conversion, and, of course, the all-important ROI. And the fundamental shift in the process is a transition from monetizing the program toward monetizing the viewer. You can have the true targeting and confirmed buys for any kind of customer you're trying to reach. And that closing of that loop is becoming the key element. And that's where data becomes so critical across the board and where we can start to drive continued ad dollars coming into the ecosystem, not just leaving the ecosystem, because you have that accountability and that return on investment capability that you never have had before. This is going to be, frankly, one of the most pivotal things in the industry. This is always a bit of an odd slide because digital, it works and yet it's also broken. And here's the issue. For the last decade, digital has held so much promise, but it's been hampered by a number of problems that still make it imperfect in terms of the ideal platform most marketers are looking for. One of the most glaring issues is that the industry is grading its own homework, and that's a problem. That's a really, really big problem that we haven't really tackled yet. I was reading an interesting article in regards to the US election where they said Twitter had 6.8 million viewers. Look at these headlines. They're pretty emphatic that digital is big, that the Twitter viewers are sizable. You've got reputable publications like Adweek and Reuters making these claims. But now let's take a look at the math behind that. And of course, in TV, we always think of the average audience per minute. So what does that average audience per minute really mean in a digital environment? Well, in a digital environment, an impression, if it has been seen for 2 seconds, at least 50% of the pixels, with or without sound, translates into an impression. So what do those 6.8 million Twitter viewers really translate into if we compare it apples to apples? You're looking at about 165,000. It's a pretty sizable reduction from that impressive 6.8 million. Now, let's contrast that with what TV delivered. It was 13.3 million on CNN, it was 12 million on Fox, and it was 11 million on NBC. So it's important to be able to have a common currency and be able to compare apples to apples. Another issue with digital is the scarcity one. A lot of the video ad platforms say they can provide scale brands need in premium digital video. But in truth, there isn't really enough quality pre-roll inventory to go around. The situation is especially dire in mobile. When you watch video on the desktop, you often see a pre-roll ad. On the mobile, not so much. Publishers are even, in fact, reluctant to put ads in front of their video content on smaller screens. And if you haven't seen this, it's a great, I meant to play this video, but I couldn't get the screen grab quickly enough. But this really highlights the fact that this is what you see for 2 seconds, and that's considered an impression. I'll go back. 2 seconds, you see that, you check the box. That's a vastly different proposition than what TV delivers. So a lot of the brands are finding out that when they check their data from their tracking partners, a lot of the ads in their big media buys are showing up on very poor quality sites. It's estimated that as of today, more than 50% of the video advertising is in non-viewable environments. And in fact, the rate of non-human traffic is rising in video advertising. According to the Association of National Advertisers, ad fraud will cost $7.2 billion in fraudulent impressions by the end of this year. That's fully $1 billion more than last year. Additionally, there's been a huge rise in the rate of ad blocking software being installed. You know it, I know it. It's compromising publishers' ability to support operations, and it's compromising marketers' ability to reach people in premium environments as well. So, the promise of digital and social is still based on a shaky foundation that's riddled with some challenges that speak directly to the genuine ROI. Views continue to be the currency that marketers are trying to drive above all else. And as a result, they're being distracted by the TV revolution that's happening right in front of our very eyes, and that's called addressable. Addressable advertising is a game changer because it finally delivers on the true promise of TV. It makes views a less important metric when brands can now reach customers with true targeting and pinpoint demographic accuracy. Thank you very much. And